Hello, and welcome to Staying Strong for Marriages. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, my friend, what's going on? So, couple pieces of housekeeping, and then I'm going to give it just as much encouragement as I can because I put this big encouragement piece in another video and it just didn't fit. And I thought, you know what? I just got to say thank you. So, before I jump into that, I mean, that's where I'm headed. But before I jump into that, Patreon, I just got, took a couple weeks, but I just got an email from the FLCCC that you can see here, and it's 77-page PDF. It has all kinds of stuff that you'd want to know. I was curious about what was the rationale behind the HCQ and why was that being recommended as preferable. And I don't want to say more than that, but I did want to look at how many references that they have. 604 references. So there's a ton of information on here. It'll really walk you through all the first, second, and third tier agents that they talk about, and it's a lot of just jam-packed with information. I don't feel like I can put it on YouTube. Okay, the other thing I needed to say is that I thought I would never say this, but you're probably beyond just liking and subscribing. You're probably going to also need to hit the notification bell, which you're going to have to change the settings on your device to allow YouTube to notify you of the videos that come out. The reason is because I kind of got myself in some trouble. I think I've kind of been like shadow banned-ish or something. So anyways, if you'd like to get the content, hit the notification bell, and that way you'll get a notification that we have a new video that came out. Otherwise, it's probably not going to show up in your feed, according to my good friend Brandon, and just the analytics that I'm seeing on my end. Okay, now on to the heart of the video, which is me saying thank you. You guys have been wonderful. I mean, I know that not very often are people encouraged for their stand. There's a lot of probably people in your life who don't understand what you're doing, why you're still wearing your ring, and you're also making it very uncomfortable for, quote unquote, the rest of us, right? While you're on this journey, this quest to stand for your marriage and pray and overcome the enemy and resist the day of evil that's come against your family, everyone else is like, dude, don't you realize the things that you're saying theologically, the things that you are doing, the things you are saying, the way that you're talking about the sanctity of marriage, how off-putting that is to us, how uncomfortable that makes us feel with the other people in our lives. And yeah, of course I understand, but I just want to say thank you because I think you guys are really going after what you believe in, right? And I think it's having a huge impact. Now, I also understand it's very difficult and it is awkward, and there are a lot of people that probably, maybe don't like what you're doing. Maybe you've had some people shy away from you, and hey, I think that's fine. I mean, it's just part of the course. It's just part of walking this road out. So you guys have been a huge encouragement to me. I love hearing the stuff on Rejoice Marriage Ministries, the people that are having a tough time, who are continuing to pray, who have gotten that phone call, who maybe had a first or a second false start, which is when people kind of come home for a while and then they leave and they go back out. I know there's people dealing with having their spouse in second quote unquote marriages. And it's been nice to pray that spouses would love each other. It's very easy for me, for certain friends especially, to just be like, man, there's no way that your spouse should be in some second marriage. So yeah, it's really easy to pray, let's see them come out of that. That's not going to work. That's not healthy. That obviously doesn't seem to have God's fingerprints on it at all. They've kind of continued to walk away from their faith because of that relationship. Their quote-unquote new spouse isn't a believer, has no real intentions of walking with the Lord. It's brought in a lot of complications for fostering children in the fear and admonition of God, right? Having this weird, trauma of going to mom and then going back to dads and then going back to moms and then going back to dads and switching back and forth. Many of you know about that firsthand, and it's a very, very serious reality. I don't know about that, but I want to say, God bless you. I love you. Hang in there. You're doing great. You are, I think the long-term payoffs for what your kids are going to see is going to be huge. and the witness that you're being to your spouse of, hey, I'd still love you. Hey, I'm willing to turn the other cheek. Hey, I'm willing to repay evil with good. Hey, I'm not going to, pressure you. I'm just going to love. I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to let you be an adult and make your own decisions about your life and about the current relationship you're in or the current decision you've made to exit from our marriage, right? And just hang solid, just be that solid rock in the midst of turmoil, right? Like I'm reminded of Jesus sleeping in the boat. Everyone else is losing their minds, thinking they're going to drown when the whole group of those gentlemen were out on the boat in the middle of the Sea of Galilee. Huge storms come up. Of course, you know the story, but like I was not worried. And so as you are being transformed, we're all being transformed, right? We're all being deeply challenged about our faith, about Calvinism, about what is the impacts of adultery in an eternal sense. Was God really serious about all these things? I mean, you are grabbing hold of that stuff with both hands. And I know that you're on your knees and you're praying and you're saying, God, didn't you want our marriage to succeed? God, aren't you for us? Are you against us? Have you turned against us? I know that this dilemma has caused you to say, God, restore me a clean heart, a good heart. Help me to overcome the sins in my life, God. If there's any impure way in me, show me. Lead me in the way of everlasting. God, help me hang to the promises that surely goodness and mercy are going to follow me all the days of my life. And I'm going to dwell in the house of the Lord forever. That's the main goal. And we want to see our spouse and our kids, if we have them, also partake in that. Now, we know that there's many pastors that's a very hard message to deliver. We know that we have friends in our lives who are maybe in second marriages, and that's very tricky as well because they're probably not so excited about what we've come to believe. And they may have, like we see in this channel, many people who make different arguments that would say that the second marriage is justifiable. You have to interact with those people. And I know that some in our community have said, well, what you want to do is just have nothing to do with the immoral brother or sister, right? You want to, quote unquote, turn them over to Satan, right? You want to have nothing to do with them, refuse to even eat with them. I think that's something, there's those verses, okay? But these people, they're not even really aware that they are maybe in a mess or that they've kind of been told, well, we have the betrothal view, or we have some kind of justification, or some kind of something about sexual immorality. And so the old marriage is over and done with. The new marriage is justifiable. Yeah, so for those of you who are saying, no, I'm not so sure about that, you're going to get a lot of pushback. You're going to get a lot of, I know you are. I know people are not going to be so happy about what you're doing in that sense. And so I know you're carrying that burden. I mean, I know you're paying the cost of that. And I just want to say thank you. I believe you are being the salt of the earth. I know that we want to have a message for the nations. We want to have a message for our community. And honestly, if there's no holiness and if there's nothing different, nothing separate about what we believe and how we live, then why would anyone even be interested, right? There has to be some sort of distinction, some kind of distinctive aspect, nature, quality, or belief that we hold to that other people don't. Otherwise, it's just the same old stuff with, I mean, I guess, the cross. Yeah, you still have the cross. You could still say, hey, we're going to live how you guys live. We're all going to live the same immoral lifestyle. There are no different morals between us and them. But the good thing we have is just the grace of God. I think I think you're going to run into that a lot. And you're going to have to be the one that's going to have to say, it's a little bit more, there's more to it than that, right? So, thank you, my brothers. Thank you, my sisters. I do pray for you guys. We do have a Facebook group. You can leave your comments anytime. Please pray for me and my wife. Please pray, just as I pray for you guys, that all the people who are against us would have a wake up call, you know? And it's always difficult to not say that in a pharisaical way, to not say that in a moral grandstanding way where it sounds like we're right and, you know, these guys are wrong. We've got the, you know, cutting edge on morality and everyone else is a little bit far behind us. That's not what we're trying to come off as, even though I know that it's very tricky. And so I pray that God will help all of us communicate these things and look at them in a respectful way, in an intelligent way, in a prayerful way, as I've tried to do on this channel. To lay out the different arguments and say, what has God said? What can we figure out? What can we understand? So you guys are amazing. And I will just say the last part, that God will give you what you need. And some people he gives dreams. He's given me dreams, words of knowledge, different words of prophecies from other people, prayer partners who have come into the picture and said, I'm with you, man, I'm with you, and I'm behind your wife and or your husband, right? The people that say, I was there at your wedding, I remember what we all agreed to, we agreed to help you guys, and I'm here to help you. So God will bring you what you need, whatever it is, just the conviction to do it. And so thank you guys for being part of the community. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for the impact you're having. Thank you for the way you're blessing me. It's awesome, 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 awesome. And I just want to say that because how infrequently we hear it. And so I want to say it. Okay? Well, we'll see you soon. Thanks so much.